Are you like most people and don't live in Philadelphia, but are really craving a cheesesteak? Well, making a cheesesteak at home is very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it today on Tummy Time. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tummy Time, and like we said, we're going to be making some gourmet homemade cheesesteaks today, and they're going to be absolutely phenomenal. To do this, we're going to be using our flat top, and we're going to run through the ingredients real quick before we go outside and get that thing warmed up and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to need is some beef, right? Philly cheesesteaks, beef, makes total sense. Right here, I have some pre-cut ribeye steak. We're going to show you how to cut it up to this portion. Next, we're going to need our good friend vegetable oil. For the seasonings for the beef, we will need onion powder, garlic powder, sea salt, and black pepper. As far as veggies go, we're going to need not an onion this big. We're gonna cut this. I'll probably use a half an onion. Some peppers. I prefer red peppers. You can use green, whatever. Our beautiful pre-chopped garlic. You can chop garlic yourself. About this much butter, maybe. You can use half a stick. Of course, our lovely sharp cheddar cheese for the top. And it wouldn't be a cheesesteak without buns. Now, can you use any bun? Not necessarily. You want to use a bun that's pretty solid, and these are bakery fresh buns. You can get them at Costco, Walmart, wherever you go. But these are, they got some weight to them, and that allows them to not get soggy when you actually put your ingredients on them. We're going to toast those up. So, let's get started. All right, so to start this recipe, we're going to begin with our beef. Now, you can buy pre-cut beef at a store, but look at that. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 4-pound block of ribeye steak, beautifully marbled from Costco. Now you can get this at any grocer or butcher, whatever. What we do is we use this for various recipes, and we cut what we need up and freeze the rest. In this particular case, we take it out of our freezer 24 hours in advance, place it in the fridge, and let it thaw. What this does, as you can see by the knife work here, is it allows it to thaw around the edges and keep frozen in the middle. And that allows us to get the knife into the steak and cut thin slices. Look at that. That's absolutely amazing and delicious. Now, you can't do that with a thawed piece of meat. Well, I guess you could, but it's very difficult because the knife just slips through. And the frozenness in the middle allows it to be nice and thin, just like we see here. We used 2 pounds of beef. You can use as much as you want. And then you just cut the rest up and save it for other recipes. I just made little steaks there. They're very cute. Next, take our beef into our bowl and season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Give it a nice mix, and just to make sure it's still raw, we're going to taste it afterwards. Put aluminum foil on top and put it in the fridge if you're not going to use it right away to let it thaw, or just throw it on the grill. It really doesn't matter. We had other things to do, so we let it thaw completely. In other prep work, we're going to start cutting our peppers. We have 2 red bell peppers, and listen, I know that a classic Philly cheesesteak does not contain red bell peppers, but it's your recipe. You do what you want. We just cut those in thin slices and put them in a bowl. Next, we cut up our onion. Said we're going to use about a half an onion, but we ended up using a little more just because onions tend to melt down a little bit. We're just going to cut them across and break them up and add them to our bowl with the peppers. As you can see, we cut up that other third of a half, whatever that is mathematically. Lastly, get your buns prepped. We used 3 buns because I was going to eat 2, but I wasn't feeling as fat as I normally do. These buns are a little more solid, so they're going to fall apart and break apart. It's fine, whatever, just cut them up. Next, you're going to go outside, put your flat top on high on all 4 zones, let it come to temp, and once at temp, turn down your other, or half of the zones, I should say, for the vegetables. Scrape it off to get any gunk or whatever you have on there off, and lay down your vegetable oil. Spread it out and place your veggies on the grill. Season those with salt and pepper as always, and we're just going to cook these nice and slow on a medium-low heat because we don't want the onions to burn. If you grill a lot, you know that onions tend to burn in a pan very easily, so we're just going to let them do their thing until they're about halfway done. Once we see they're about at that color and have some nice consistency to them, we're going to throw down our vegetable oil on the other side, spread it out, and keep that on high for our beef. That looks absolutely beautiful. Spread your beef out so you have maximum surface area, letting it, get exposed to the heat and whatnot. Season it with salt and pepper, and give it a nice stir to make sure that everything is getting mixed up there and all the flavors are blending together. You want as much as possible in there, and it looks absolutely amazing right now. Next, check on your veggies, make sure they're not burning. We're just going to keep doing that. And then throw our garlic on our beef. I use 2 spoonfuls of garlic. You can use whatever you want. That granulated garlic adds maximum flavor to that steak, as I think it should be a rule that you use garlic for anything when you're cooking with beef. Once your vegetables and steak are about halfway done, throw down some butter on another zone and just move your vegetables over. Let your butter soak into your vegetables to get them some buttery goodness. And then put the rest of your butter on your steak. Stir up your vegetables so you can coat those in butter. And that, where we just placed the butter on that side, is going to be for our bread. We're just going to make sure our steak is coated in the butter, let it simmer and do its thing. And we are going to throw down our buns, making sure that maximum surface area is being accomplished with those buns, giving them a nice push. We want the inside of the bun completely on, the flat top on a medium-low heat setting. Next, mix everything together, and this is where everything starts to come into place. So we have all of our vegetables and steak together. We're just going to let them mend and the flavors do their thing while we cook up our buns to a nice toasty golden brown. Check on them frequently to make sure they're not burning. You can move them around like I did here, just to soak up some of the juices from the vegetables. Keep them pressed, make sure they're staying on the grill. Now, we're throwing down our cheese here. Why are we using slices? Because slices are better. All right? Slices are better. You can use shredded cheese, not as good. All right? Look at how the cheese just melts into the steak and into the vegetables. It looks absolutely amazing. And how much cheese do you want to use? Well, listen, I say the more cheese, the better. As we argued here for a little bit how much cheese we want to use, we had 2 pieces left. So we threw them down. Why not? The more cheese, the better your life's going to be. Life theory. Once those buns are pretty toasted brown, as you can see, that looked a little burnt. They weren't that burnt. They actually weren't burnt at all. We actually like a little well-doneness on our buns. Move your block or mass of cheesesteak goodness around. There's a lot of grease there. Grease is great. It's full of flavor. It's delicious. It tastes very good in this case. It's not just pools of grease. But we're going to move it around the grill to make sure we can get some of that drained out. Stir it up. And I gave it a nice squeeze here because why not get some more of that grease out. And here is your finished product. All right, so after slaving on a hot flat top, we're back in our kitchen. We're going to plate this up and see how it tastes. Oh, look who's here just in time.
Is that my dinner?
It's our dinner, yes. Look at the grease.
It looks really good.
Now, many people out there would be disgusted at the amount of grease that's in here, but grease is good for you. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Think that's enough? Okay. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that at home. Also, don't worry about your buns coming apart. It makes it a little more difficult, but as you lose everything. How is it? You like it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'll leave it all.
Are you lying?
No.
Would you eat it every day?
No. Maybe every other day.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Would you improve anything?
I bet it could use maybe a little bit more cheese.
We used an entire pound of cheese for 5 servings, maybe, if you will. But, yeah, it's good.
It is.
And it's simple as this. You don't have to go to Philadelphia to get a good quality cheesesteak. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Tubby Time. We hope you enjoyed it. And please make sure to subscribe, comment. Subscribe, comment, and let us know when you want us to make. And like our video. We'll see you next time.